thought it would be a good idea if I made this video giving my thoughts on the very first volume of Centuria. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing the more that I read with this series, so be sure to look forward to that content, of course. But I thought it'd be smart for me to make a video since everything is fresh in the mind and just share my thoughts on how I feel about Centuria so far, because I hear so many things about Centuria, and I thought, you know what, it's time for me to check out this series. And if any of you guys have read Centuria, and if you guys want to give your thoughts on how you feel about the very first volume, be sure to let me know in the comments. Just don't spoil, please. If you want to hype me up and be like, oh yeah, you know, there's a lot of awesome stuff in the near future, you could do something like that, but I want to make sure that I'm not spoiled because I'm really enjoying everything that I'm reading so far. But allow me to just open up that door and let you guys know exactly how I feel about Centuria. So Centuria Volume 1 establishes its tone immediately, and that's one of the reasons that it stood out to me. The opening doesn't ease you in or build slowly. Instead, it puts you beside Julian at the exact moment he decides to run away from his abusive blacksmith master. That single choice shows you how desperate his life has been and how far he's willing to go just to escape. It's a powerful way to begin because it tells you right away what kind of world this story takes place in, one where survival feels like a constant struggle. This harsh atmosphere continues as Julian ends up aboard a massive slave ship filled with 100 other captives. The ship itself reflects the world's cruelty, not through long explanations, but through the fear and hopelessness of the people that are on it. You learn about the setting simply by watching how everyone behaves and how little control they have over their fate. It's a very grounded way of building a world, and it allows the emotional weight of each moment to hit harder. That grounded approach makes the supernatural elements feel even more striking when they appear. The Alode Zone storm, the cursed waters, and the gigantic sea being demanding sacrifices all come across as natural pieces of this world rather than sudden additions. When the creature asks for both a mass sacrifice and an act of pure love, it reveals a supernatural system that's tied directly to emotion and cost. Nothing is given freely, and every blessing has consequences. And by tying the tone and the supernatural rules together so closely, Centuria creates a world that feels both dangerous and meaningful. We never feel like the story relies on its darker moments just for shock. Instead, the hardship and the mystical elements work together to establish a consistent atmosphere. While the world itself is harsh, the emotional heart of the volume comes across the connections Julian forms along the way. Myra is the first person to show him genuine kindness, and their bond becomes the foundation of almost everything he does after. Her small gestures, like sharing her food, speaking gently, teaching him about love and dignity, may seem simple, but in the environment that they're in, they carry tremendous meaning. They give Julian something he has never truly experienced: compassion without condition. That makes Myra's final sacrifice even more affecting. When the sea being demands souls as an act of sincere love, Myra chooses to bring her daughter into the world and give her to Julian. It's an incredibly difficult moment, handled with sincerity, and it shows the depth of Myra's love and the belief she places in Julian. Even though their time together was brief, her choice shapes the entire rest of the story, and it becomes the emotional anchor that stays with Julian long after. After Myra's death, Julian's relationship with Diana becomes the center of his life. His promise to protect her isn't treated as a simple vow, it feels like the first purpose he has ever truly had. Every decision he makes from that point on has her in mind. This adds a stronger layer of heart to a story filled with darkness because you see him holding on to the lessons Myra taught him, but trying to give Diana a better future. And that emotional foundation continues when Julian later meets Tai Tai and Engval. Their kindness introduces him to a different kind of family, one built through warmth, trust, and shared responsibility. Tai Tai brings innocence into his life, while Engval offers structure and support. Together, they give Julian a sense of belonging he didn't know was possible. These relationships bring balance to the narrative and makes the world feel more complete. Julian stands out as a protagonist because his growth feels honest. Even after gaining supernatural abilities, the story never treats him as someone who can suddenly handle every threat. His new powers come with confusion and responsibility, and he only discovers their potential by facing situations he cannot avoid. This approach keeps him grounded and makes his development feel earned rather than automatic. You could see this clearly during his fight against the eel-like sea demon. The creature forces him to confront not only physical danger, but also painful memories and fears. Julian's strength in that moment doesn't come from his supernatural abilities alone, it comes from his determination to protect Diana and from the lessons Myra taught him about loneliness and love. This balance between power and emotion makes the scene more than just action. It becomes a meaningful step in his personal growth. And outside of combat, Julian continues to evolve through the everyday responsibilities that he takes on. When he works in the iron mine, he doesn't rely entirely on the strength he gained from the 100 slaves. Instead, he tries to prove to himself that he can stand on his own through effort and discipline. His desire to build a stable life and contribute to his new home shows a different kind of strength, one rooted in maturity rather than just survival. And what makes Julian compelling is how the story balances darkness, emotion, and hope around him. His journey doesn't rely solely on trauma or suffering. It mixes moments of intense struggle with moments of genuine warmth. This balance allows you to appreciate both his vulnerability and his resilience. And even though Volume 1 focuses on Julian's immediate challenges in the beginnings of his new life, it also plants clear seeds for future developments. One of the most intriguing hints is the crack that appears on Diana's arm. It suggests that the blessing she received the night she was born may have consequences the characters don't yet understand. The story doesn't explain this detail, but its quiet presence adds a sense of tension. Another moment that stands out is when Julian senses someone watching him from the forest. It is brief and not directly addressed afterward, but it leaves a lasting impression. Whether it's a person, a creature, or something tied to the supernatural, the story signals that Julian's peaceful life with Tai Tai and Angval may not be as secure as it seems. This uncertainty helps maintain the darker undertones even during the calmer chapters. And Julian's incomplete understanding of his powers also contributes to the sense that there is more ahead. While he adapts during battles and difficult moments, he still has no clear sense of what these abilities fully entail. The fact that they come from the lives of the slaves who died gives them emotional weight, but it also introduces questions about their limits and long-term effects. This lack of clarity keeps the future open and unpredictable. These subtle mysteries give the story momentum beyond the immediate events. They show that Centuria is setting up something larger without rushing into it. This thoughtful pacing encourages curiosity and makes you want to see where Julian's journey leads to next. So after spending some time with the first 4 chapters, I truly believe that Centuria Volume 1 is absolutely worth reading. The story has a clear tone, a strong emotional core, and a world that feels both dangerous and meaningful. It handles dark themes with sincerity while still making space for warmth, connection, and growth. Everything feels deliberate from the opening scenes to the quieter moments at the end. Julian's journey is compelling because of how personal it is. He begins in a place of fear and desperation, but the people he meets and the promises he makes give him direction. His development is shaped by tragedy, compassion, and responsibility. And the story presents these elements with balance rather than relying solely on one tone. It's a narrative that understands how to use both light and darkness effectively. The supernatural system adds another layer of depth without overwhelming the story. The blessing tied to the sacrifice, the sea demons, and the cursed waters all contribute to a world that is intriguing and also unpredictable. These elements give the series a unique identity and create space for future exploration. So those are my thoughts on the first volume of Centuria, and I had a lot of fun talking about it in this video, and probably in the next time you see me on here when it comes to a Centuria video, I'm going to be talking about volume 2, because I definitely feel like it would be good to show you guys my journey, just like how I'm doing at One Piece on the channel, where each volume that I read, I make a video, I talk about it, and I get my thoughts. So if you guys have anything that you want to say about Centuria when it comes to your personal experience, at least when it comes to the first 4 chapters, like how you felt about it overall, be sure to let me know in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear how you guys feel about Centuria when you first started the series. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to show your support, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook. All the links to those are located in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. Also, be sure to join my Discord server if you enjoy talking about anime and manga, and also if you happen to be a really big fan of Centuria and you want to talk to me about the series, the Discord's there for a reason, so you guys can do exactly that. Be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a new video on the channel. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, it's out.